white clam pizza. I want my mom to kind of show us how it's done. So take it away, G. I'll be your humble assistant.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit here and kind of stretch the pizza dough out onto the sheet pan, and you're gonna make the clam mixture for the pizza.
Tell us how it's done, G.
Okay, so we have about a cup of canned clams. This can be done with fresh clams. You can chop them. And you reserve some of the clam juice from the canned clams and some grated garlic cloves. Three or four, if you like garlic. And some fresh oregano.
Yum, yum.
The next thing is a little bit of
Crushed red pepper flakes.
crushed red pepper flakes.
Ooh, I like
Spice.
the look of this.
Some salt, some pepper. Oh, we put olive oil in this too. A little bit of olive oil.
Hey, listen, forgetting ingredients is like the way we do things around here. So you are among
Couple of good
friends.
shakes of olive oil. Okay, you want to put a little olive oil
Sure.
there and brush it around.
A drizzle. And then I'm brushing the olive oil. Do you like to get the olive oil on the rim too, so it's nice and greasy and oily?
Yeah,
Okay.
looks good.
All right, I got that oiled. Now what?
Okay, a little mozzarella. You do that one.
You want to help?
And after the mozzarella comes the either Parmigiano Romano or Pecorino Romano, which I think is
Parmigiano Reggiano or Pecorino Romano.
yes, for sure. Okay, there you go. Whoops, a little bit more.
Okay, gee, that looks so good so
Is that
far.
enough cheese for you?
Well, no, but it's fine. Okay, so how do you get the clams scattered over?
Well,
show us your technique.
We're about to find out.
Basically, you want to kind of scatter
Right, you
evenly.
wanted it scattered as much as possible,
So every
evenly
piece-
over the crust.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you bake yours at 500 on a pizza stone. I'm going to do like 450 just to make sure the
Okay.
bread dough doesn't burn. So I'm going to get this in the oven for you, since I'm your assistant. All right.
Thank you very
And
much.
What would you say? How long?
Well, when I do it 500, it's 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
So maybe 12 to 15?
Okay. Gee.
Yes.
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 It looks perfect.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. This looks, oh, it smells so good. Gosh, that really reminds me, I need to put more garlic on my pizzas. I mean, the smell of this pizza. So get it onto
Yeah.
the board.
Goodness.
That looks incredible. So how do you like to finish it when it comes out of the oven?
Well, you can sprinkle more cheese. Definitely more cheese.
I
on top
support that decision.
while it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to do something with those oregano leaves.
Yes.
And
I will
then,
artfully place them.
whoops.
Oh, this looks great. What about more crushed red pepper flakes?
Yeah. Or, yeah. Yes. As you serve, or you can put these in a little dish and.
Oh, and then everybody
there
can
were
add
lots.
to taste.
Yeah, so we won't do too much.
This looks incredible, G.
Gosh.
It looks perfect.
This came from you. This may be our new favorite pizza. Who wants to try a bite?
Me.
Oh, good. You guys are adventurous. It's not pepperoni.
Come in here and grab a bite, guys.
I feel so left out.
Get on
Come
in
in,
there.
Alex.
Ooh, I'm so
I want your
excited to
opinion.
try.
I want to try.
Yum. Oh my gosh, I literally feel so left out right now. Sorry. I'm still here.
Paige,
Oh my gosh.
what do you think?
That is incredible.
You like it? Great.
really good.
Uh-huh.
It's so garlicky and
Okay.
flavorful.
I love the flavor.
Gee, it worked wonders.
That's so good.
Oh my gosh.
Cheers.
This is a 10 out of 10. I love it. Pizza spaghetti pie, or a spaghetti pizza pie, however you want to say it. Started with 4 eggs. I'm adding half a cup of Parmesan and some mozzarella, not too much, just a little handful. A little bit of marinara sauce and 3 little spices. Some granulated garlic, some oregano, and some crushed red pepper flakes. Equal parts, that's the level of spice I like. And then I'm gonna go in with a whisk Mix this together. It needs a little bit of salt and pepper. It looks like a little bit of a puzzling concoction at this point, but just you wait. All right, so I got that stirred together. You know what? I have leftover spaghetti all the time, so it makes perfect sense to have a recipe in your arsenal like this. So leftover spaghetti, I put just a little bit of oil on it, so it is really raring to go, and it needed purpose in its life, let's face it. And then I'm using the tongs to just toss it. Look at this, just sticky, ooey gooey leftover spaghetti. And that's dinner, kids. Get excited. Just kidding. So now I've got a big old heavy skillet and it's on low heat. It's already hot. I put some olive oil in here. And so you guessed it, the spaghetti mixture is going to go in. I'm gonna cascade it beautifully out of the bowl and into the pan. There. And then I want to push it into the sides of the pan. So the point of this stage is to start to set the bottom of the spaghetti pie. So I'm going to give it about 2 minutes on low heat until those edges just barely start to brown. All right, 2 minutes has passed. The spaghetti pie is kind of starting to set. So look at this page. I kind of started pushing a little bit of the spaghetti up on the rim because I'm gonna build a pizza out of this. So it's a spaghetti pie, but I'm gonna turn it into a pizza spaghetti pie. So first things first, pizza sauce, AKA marinara. I'll just kind of spread it over the top just like I would pizza sauce on a pizza. Grated mozzarella all over the sauce.
Over the sauce.
Yum, I like it already. I'm tempted to just stir it up and finish cooking it, just eat it out of the skillet. And then I've got pizza toppings. So very thinly sliced red onion and very thinly sliced green bell pepper rings. And then this is a really cool convenience ingredient, crumbled sausage from the freezer. It's actually sold in bags. I mean, talk about where our world is today. You don't even have to sit at the stove and cook sausage and crumble it for your pizza. Okay, and then finally, sliced black olives. One of the best pizza ingredients known to man right here. Okay, so Paige, let's go put this in the oven. Oh, boy, that's heavy. Isn't that a cool way to use leftover spaghetti, Paige?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bake this at 400 degrees. It's gonna take about 10 to 12 minutes. This has been cooling. It's out of the oven. Look at this spaghetti pizza pie.
Oh.
Okay, now we are gonna have some fun and try to turn this out onto the board. I already sort of ran the spatula around the edge to loosen it, but I'm gonna try to get it out in one piece because I wanna show you the beauty and glory, here goes, of a pizza pie, spaghetti pizza pie. Look at that.
Wow.
So then you just take a sharp knife and cut it into a little wedge, and then look, that's what the pizza spaghetti pie looks like. Isn't it pretty?
So pretty.
Okay, I'm gonna finish it with some basil leaves. I think this is kind of one of those conversation starters if you're having company over, or it's just an easy Tuesday night dinner for your kids, whatever you prefer. You're so cute. We're making French bread pizzas. So we're gonna make two varieties. One is meaty and one is like garden fresh. So Alex, for the garden fresh version, ricotta, lemon zest, and pesto. I'll let you mix that together.
Okay.
And to brush on both halves of French bread, I'm gonna make a buttery, garlicky mixture. So it's just garlic, Italian seasoning, and butter. And I'm just stirring it with the brush.
I love
so
that.
I don't have to dirty up too much stuff.
So is this like the pizza sauce that I'm making?
That is like the cheese for the garden version. So while you mix that together, I'm going to brush this garlic herb mixture. Actually, I'm not gonna brush. I'm just gonna pour onto the French bread. So when I said we're making French bread pizza, I meant it literally. I started with a loaf of French bread, split it in half, and then adding this little layer of garlic herb butter just makes the baked pizza so amazing. Alex is gonna do like a traditional meaty kind of supreme pizza version. So it's marinara, cheese, pepperoni, sausage, green bell peppers, jalapenos, and olives. So build away.
Okay. I
And-
feel like this is the one Mauricio would like.
I
if
think
he was
Mauricio's gonna love that.
around.
And then for my garden fresh French bread pizza, I am spreading this ricotta pesto mixture that Alex threw together. And oh my, it is gonna be so good. So on top of the ricotta, I am going to add sliced zucchini because it's garden fresh. And I just sliced them into little coins.
Do you think that's enough?
Yes, I do. I think it's the perfect amount.
Cheese, my favorite part.
And then on top of the zucchini, I am going to add some asparagus pieces and some sliced bell pepper. Alex, are you having fun yet?
A blast.
But I like this because you can actually, split the halves in half and wind up with 4 pieces of French bread, and you can make 4 varieties. You can sort of have a build your own scenario. Someday when you have children, you can lay out all the different ingredients and let everybody just build their own sausage. Lots and lots of possibilities, oops. And then goat cheese. So I added zucchini, asparagus, corn, strips of roasted red pepper, and now I'm adding big gobs of goat cheese, and I love goat cheese so much. I'd love to get in there and just eat it.
Just a couple olives.
Go ahead, go heavy with the olives. I love olives.
Okay, fine.
All right, so let's put them in the oven.
Okay.
So we're gonna bake these. Come on, Alex, we'll do it together. All right, we're gonna bake these at 425 for 10 minutes until the cheese is melted and the bread is crisp.
Wow, these look good.
They look amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm gonna right all the wrongs.
The bread is so
And-
crispy.
Whew, I'm gonna put your garden fresh variety in front of you, and I'll put the meaty one in front of me. Ah, look how pretty.
The bread got so crisp.
They look fantastic. They're almost too pretty to eat though. So to garnish, I'll trade you. You can garnish yours with some torn basil. And I've got some Parmesan for my version. Okay, so to serve.
Ooh, that crunch.
I know, look. Here you go, Alex.
Yum. I think we have to sample.
I think we have to. It's the responsible thing to do. I'm
Wait,
gonna-
we should hook arms.
Wow, that was graceful.
The ricotta is so good.
Love these. Pizza Bianca. To make things easy, I'm actually using a loaf of frozen bread dough. These come in regular loaves, and all you have to do is just thaw them out and then put them in a bowl with a little bit of olive oil, cover them with plastic wrap, and just let it rise. It takes several hours. I'm just stretching it, acting like I'm a serious pizza maker. The secret to a cast iron pizza is you want to preheat the cast iron skillet. So I have got this oven on 500 degrees, and I've been heating the skillet for about 20, 25 minutes. I mean, there is not much on earth that's hotter than this. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take some garlic olive oil. This is just olive oil that's been infused with garlic, and I'm gonna drizzle, lay it in the pan. I wanna get it up to the edges, and then the whole point of this is to start that crust really sizzling. I'm gonna drizzle on more garlic olive oil. All right, now I've got 2 kinds of cheese, low moisture mozzarella, and then I'm also using Asiago, which is amazing. I'm actually gonna put on just a few little mozzarella balls, just here and there. They'll sort of melt in circles, different colors of white for the Pizza Bianca. Okay, so now it's gonna go back into the oven And the pizza itself is going to bake at 500 degrees. Now the pizza just needs to bake for about 12 to 14 minutes. Pizza Bianca, listen. But look at this, because the cast iron skillet is so well seasoned, it just comes right out. So I'm gonna sprinkle on some shaved Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna drizzle on just a little bit of truffle oil, and then a bunch of basil. How gorgeous is this Pizza Bianca? I say we cut this up. Wish me luck. I'm going in. Pizzauni, which is a combination of a pizza and a brownie. It's basically a dessert pizza. I started with a bunch of chocolate hazelnut spread, and I added 3 eggs, and I kind of stirred them together, and I'm gonna sprinkle in flour a little bit at a time. When I first made this brownie recipe, I was very skeptical because I thought there is no way that that chocolate hazelnut spread is going to, you know, combine with eggs and flour and result in what is one of my most favorite desserts, brownies. Okay, the rest of the flour goes in. You gotta trust me on this. Okay, so I got the brownie batter all stirred up, and I've got a round pizza pan, and I put a square of parchment on there and sprayed the parchment really well because you want to be able to get this brownie off of the pan very easily. So you just kind of get it almost to the edge of the pan. The oven's going to kind of let it ooze a little bit out. So let's go bake this, Alex.
Let's do it.
It's going to bake at 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes until it's set. And then I'm gonna take it out, let it cool, and cover it with toppings. Okay, so the brownie has been baked and cooled, and look at this, how yummy it looks. So before I decorate the top, I'm gonna make a ganache, and that's gonna be like the pizza sauce on the pizza. So it also has chocolate hazelnut spread and chocolate chips. And I'm just gonna make it like I would normally make ganache. I have a saucepan with really hot cream, and it has to be hot cream. So I'm gonna go ahead and start stirring, and if the cream is hot enough, that heat will take you through to the end, and you'll wind up with the glossiest, most gorgeous ganache. Okay, Alex, come in here and look at this.
Oh, baby. That was some glassy ganache.
I love it when she does those little comments. Okay, so I've got the cooled crust, and here goes the sauce. Oh my gosh, that is rude. Rude and beautiful all at the same time. So you want to spread it out kind of to the edge, and now on with the candies. So candy-coated chocolate pieces go first, and then little malted milk balls, which is an old favorite of mine. I used to eat these in the movie theater. Little caramels coated in chocolate. And see, I'm leaving everything big because it's fun that way. And then some little toffee pieces. And we are not even close to being done yet.
Ooh.
So I like to melt a little bit of white almond bark in the microwave and get it kind of to the pourable stage, and then just take a fork and drizzle back and forth. And then just to make sure it's colorful and happy and fun, and because sprinkles just make everything better, I like to go over the top with sprinkles. I mean, make this for your friends, make it for your teenagers, just make it. This skillet recipe is something I'm very excited to share with you guys. I am making a cheesy upside down pizza, and if you have never made pizza this way, I suspect you are going to be instantly hooked. It is so cool. So it's mostly cheese, but I'm going to add a little bit of meat in the form of pepperoni. So basically, imagine a pizza, but you build it upside down. So I'm not starting with the crust, I'm starting with the toppings. So, I mean, it's a world gone mad. I don't know what to say. Okay, and I also have some sliced Roma tomatoes, and I'm just gonna kind of arrange them in the gap between the pepperoni. So now I'm adding some roasted red peppers that I cut into strips. And then this is the fun part. So I've got some sliced mozzarella cheese. The mozzarella goes on. You can use whatever cheese you want. And don't worry about covering every square inch because we have 3 cheeses to help us accomplish that. So I've got some grated cheddar and it goes on. The third cheese is provolone and I'm gonna put it on top, which is actually on bottom. This is where I start to get really confused from an engineering standpoint. Next comes the marinara sauce or pizza sauce. I'm probably gonna add a cup, but I'm just gonna do it a spoonful at a time to make sure it gets all over the cheese. Okay, so spread out all the marinara. See, what am I missing? Crust. So this is just store-bought pizza dough. It was frozen and I let it thaw out for like 3 days in the fridge, which is like totally a remove. No, actually a lot of people do that. It's called planning. It's called meal planning. Okay, so I'm just kind of letting the weight of the dough form the dough into a rough circle. And when it gets to be about the size of the pizza, the skillet, yeah, that was pretty good.
Perfect.
And then I'll just sort of tuck it over the edge of the ingredients. Now, come with me, Alex. Oven time. All right, I've got the oven on 400 degrees. So I'm gonna put it in for about 25 minutes. And then we will see what it looks like after that. Okay, the pizza is out of the oven. It has been sitting here for just a few minutes. You see that, Alex?
It looks so good.
It's kind of golden and I can hear still some little sizzling going on.
This will be interesting.
This will be really interesting. And by the way, I used a very well-seasoned iron skillet, and that is important in order for it to have non-stick qualities. So do you believe in me?
I believe.
I believe.
Yay.
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess up though.
It's our lunch.
Just don't mess it up. I want to make sure I don't have any gap here. All right. I'm going to flip this over and see what happens. We're all in this together. We're all walking through this crazy life together. So whatever happens, just remember my best qualities, okay? Ready, set, oh. Okay, well, okay, it's a little messy, but I have a plan. Okay? So, I have some fresh bell pepper rings, and not only that, beautiful leaves of basil. Okay, what do you think, guys?
Delicious.
It looks amazing.
It looks good, right?
I'm ready to
Smells
dig
so
in.
good.
Okay, do you guys want to try a slice?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
I'll take that.
Yes. No.
Please, please.
Thanks, Aunt Ree.
I'm sorry.
Can you
y'all.
let me that one?
Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
How is it?
So good. It's like deep dish.
Upside down pizza. It's fun to change things up once in a while. So I use just not impressive at all, but very handy pizza dough that comes in a roll, sold in the refrigerated section. We all know what I'm talking about. And I am going to assemble one of the pigs in the blanket. So it starts with a little bit of marinara sauce, and then a little piece of mozzarella cheese. So then a little pinch of crushed red pepper flakes, just to give it a little spice. A pepperoni, which is Todd Drummond's favorite snack in the world. And then one of these little breakfast sausages. Put it right in the center. And then this is gonna get a little bit messy before it's all said and done, but the messiest recipes are the tastiest recipes. Who said that?
True.
Socrates? So I'm gonna put it onto the pan and then watch what happens, Paige. Then I'm gonna brush the top with just an egg wash, which is just egg with a little bit of water. And then I have this mixture of Parmesan cheese and Italian seasoning, and I'll just sprinkle a little bit on top for a little crust. I'm gonna do the exact same thing to the rest of the squares of dough. Okay, let's get these in the oven. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bake these at 425 degrees for 15 minutes until they're golden. They're gonna be so good. Feel free to gather around.
Oh my gosh.
Feel free
Looks
to.
so good.
How good do, go ahead. How good do they look? Okay,
Ah,
they look amazing. Look.
oh my gosh.
Ooh, just perfect.
Oh, close up action.
I've got a little dish of, they're very cheesy, and some of the cheese kind of oozes out, and that is just okay. It's nice to kind of see a little hint of what's inside. Okay, I'm gonna keep working and get the rest of these on the platter. Guys. Pizza pigs in a blanket. I've got a little dish of marinara sauce. I'm gonna taste one. Ready?
So graceful.
I met a group of great new friends at our homeschooling co-op in Bartlesville this year. Now school's out for the summer and we haven't seen each other for a few weeks, so I decided to have them out to the ranch for a girls' dinner. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm making a really summery chicken salad for dinner, and to go with it, a fresh herb pizza. So I'm gonna get started on the dough. I've got 3/4 of a cup of pretty warm water, and I sprinkled in half a teaspoon of yeast, and I'll just let that sit and start to work its magic. And then I'll add 2 cups of flour to the mixer. This is my favorite pizza dough in the entire universe. It is so delicious and so foolproof. Half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and then I'll just put the mixer on low, and I'll drizzle in a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Another fun part of tonight is the girls have never been out to the ranch, so we're really gonna have a fun time. I just love them. They are so much fun. So I'll drizzle in the olive oil, and it'll just slowly mix it into the flour and salt. And by now, the yeast and water mixture should be good, so I'll just drizzle that in and let it mix in slowly. The great thing about this pizza dough is you can make it an hour before you need it, or you can make it 3 days before you need it. It lasts for a really long time in the fridge. Okay, now it doesn't take long at all for it to come together. I'll give it just a little bit longer. Now I'm gonna put the dough into a bowl, so I'll drizzle in a little bit of olive oil, smear it around to coat it. So I'll just put it into the bowl, turn it around so it gets coated in olive oil. All right, the dough is all coated, and I'll just cover it up with plastic wrap. Now it just needs to rise for about an hour or so. Now the dough's been rising, and I'm just gonna roll it out. This is a really simple pizza, but it's gonna go perfectly with the chicken salad. Okay, got that all rolled out. Now I'm gonna drizzle some olive oil onto a baking sheet, and then I'll just pick up the dough. It's pretty stretchy, and that's a good thing, and I'll just plop it right on the sheet. And then I'll drizzle on a little more olive oil. This pizza doesn't have a really heavy sauce like a lot of pizzas do. I'll just smear the olive oil around, and then I'll just sprinkle on a little salt and pepper for flavor. And then, of course, this is pizza, so I have mozzarella cheese, and I'll just slice some thin slices. You can also grate the mozzarella, but I really like the way the slices bake. They sort of spread out and get really bubbly. Okay, I'll lay the slices of cheese on and see where I am. All right, that looks good. Now I'll get the herbs ready that I'm gonna put on the pizza. I have a package of arugula. I love, love, love arugula. It's so mysterious. It's kind of spicy and peppery and lettucey all at once. And then I have some beautiful basil, and I'm just gonna leave the leaves whole, not chop them up like I normally would. And then I have some parsley just for a little extra freshness. Just tear them up so there aren't any big pieces. Okay, I think that should be good. Now I'm gonna put the pizza in the oven when the girls get here, and with that, I'm ready for this girls' night to begin. The pizza looks amazing and it smells amazing. Okay, got a big spatula. I'm just gonna put it right onto the board. I'll just put the greens all over the top. Now I'll cut this up, big old pizza cutter. Okay, now just to finish it off, I'll throw on plenty of grated Parmesan. Okay, beautiful pizza, gorgeous salad. It's time to eat. Have you ever heard of cauliflower pizza crust? Being a food blogger, I see it all the time. I've never actually made one, so I'm gonna whip one up now, and I can't wait for the results. I've got a half a head of cauliflower, and I just cut it into chunks. I'll throw it into the food processor, and I'm gonna let the food processor grind it up. I'm gonna pulse it until it's really fine. My food blogging friend told me to keep going until it looks like snow, and I think I'm about there. Yeah, looks like snow, all right. Take the blade out, and I'll get this into a bowl. I'll cover this with some plastic wrap too. Now I've got a fork, and I'll just poke a couple times. Now this goes into the microwave. I'm gonna draw out the moisture and soften it a bit. That's gonna take about 4 minutes. Now from what I understand, the secret to cauliflower crust is getting all of the moisture out of the cauliflower. So I'll take the plastic wrap off, and I have a thin towel here, and I'll dump the cauliflower right on there, and I'll let it cool for a couple minutes until I can wring out all the moisture. Now I'm gonna fold this up, get it nice and tight in there, and I'll wring all this moisture right into the same bowl that I cooked it in. Gosh, I cannot believe how much water is in the cauliflower naturally. I got all of the moisture squeezed out of the cauliflower, so I'm breaking it up a bit, and I've got a few more things to add to the crust. I'll crack in an egg, some mozzarella. I'll save the rest of this to go on top of the pizza. I'll also add in some grated Parmesan and Italian seasoning, just keeping it simple. A little salt and pepper, of course. Now I'll stir this all together and see what it looks like. I've got some parchment paper on here so the crust won't stick to the pan. I'll start by getting it into a ball. Gosh, it's so easy to work with. Now I'll press it into a crust. One secret I've heard about cauliflower pizza crust is you want to bake it super thin. Now I'll get this into a 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes. It smells so good and it looks amazing. I think I could just break off a piece and eat that right now. I'll put the sauce on the crust. Again, I don't want to add too much moisture, so I'll just put a thin layer. I think that should be enough. Okay, that looks like a good amount. The rest of the mozzarella goes on. Gosh, I cannot imagine how good this pizza is gonna be. I'm gonna put this back into the oven until the cheese is melted. That crust got even more deep golden. Oh, I can't wait to try this. I'm gonna grab some basil. Not gonna slice it up, just gonna grab big leaves, and I'll tear big pieces right onto the pizza. Gosh, what a pretty pizza. And I'm gonna start with a super-sized slice of pizza. And I do mean super-sized. I'm gonna form the big slice right now, and I'm using my foolproof pizza dough. It never, ever fails me. Let me tell you how to make this. I got salt and flour into the mixer, turned it on low, poured in olive oil, and active dry yeast dissolved in warm water. Then, when everything was mixed, formed it into a ball in an olive oil smeared bowl, covered it with plastic wrap, let it rise for an hour, then stashed the dough in the fridge. This dough is the best, and it's so easy to shape into whatever shape you want. I'm literally forming it into the shape of a big slice of pizza. Emphasis on big. This is basically going to be a whole pizza. It's just not going to be round or oval like my pizzas usually are. It's in the shape of a pizza slice. Okay, I think that looks great. I'm totally convinced. I think the boys will be too. Okay, I'm gonna put the toppings on the pizza. This ought to be fun. I'll start with just jarred marinara sauce. How fun would it be to have a pizza party and make 3 or 4 different slices of pizza like this? Put different toppings on them. I think that would be such a fun idea. Now, I want to leave the sauce off of the end because it's supposed to look like the pizza crust, but I want to get it all the way to the edges because I want it to look like I basically cut a huge slice of pizza. Okay, that's enough sauce. So I'll put on a layer of mozzarella slices. Sometimes with pizza, fresh mozzarella can get a little bit watery, so I'm kind of sticking with the supermarket stuff. And you can just tear the pieces as you need to fit them on there. And then fontina comes next. Fontina on pizza is scrumptious. It is so flavorful and creamy. Now I've got some Romano cheese, and I'm not gonna sprinkle on too much. This is a little bit sharper and more flavorful than Parmesan. Since this is a supersized slice of pizza, say that fast 3 times, I'm gonna use supersized pepperoni. Okay, now this is a little bit risky, but I'm just gonna go for it anyway. I've got a little goat cheese. I'm not gonna put too much on. I'm just gonna find little places. I wanna have a taste of this pizza, and I happen to love goat cheese on pizza, so I think that's all the goat cheese I'm gonna use. Okay, it's gonna go into a 500-degree oven on the lowest rack for about 20 minutes, and I'll watch it to make sure the crust doesn't burn. Hey, boys. Would you like a slice of pizza?
It's like a big old single slice.
I know. So, Mason, this one's yours.
All right.
And I've got 4 more coming. Just kidding. Are you guys hungry?
Yes, hungrier than hungry.
I was watching you guys play out there. It was making me tired.
Except I
Mason?
made a lot of quarterback.
Oh, Mason took off. Bye, Mason. I think he's ready to eat. Oh, gosh. There's just no time for conversation with you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Todd, you're going to wind up with a huge piece here. There you go, son. All right. Aw, thanks. I love those boys.